Hello everyone, welcome back to a roundup of week 2 of the 100 Day Project. Okay, so on day 7 I realised that I really needed to nail down the proper layout for the painting, really. In my head I had it that the original idea was that the character would fill up most of the canvas and the light would be shining on them, and then the paintbrush pot and all her bits and pieces at the front of the page or of the canvas would be kind of proportional in size to her, so that she'd be kind of reaching out and dipping her brushes in the pot as she was working. And then the background, the like bookshelves and knickknacks and that kind of thing, they would be interesting and still hold your attention if you wanted to pay attention to them, but then dark and would fade enough into the background so they didn't detract too much from the character herself. So I've redone the layout on day 7. So now she's much closer to the front of the frame than she was originally, and yeah, so she's a bit bigger and clearer, really. I did this mainly because I thought I needed to pin it down now, because I didn't want to waste time working on details on areas that would eventually be obscured when I made her bigger. So I figured it was best to nail that right now. So for the rest of the week after that, I spent about 10 minutes each day working on like a pencil sketch and filling in details into the composition as I went along. So day 8, I roughed out the pencil sketch in my sketchbook and added a few clothing details. Day 9, you saw me add in details about the severed head and a few paint tubes and things like that at the front as well on her little desk or whatever that is there in front of her. Day 9, we've got legs. I added in some leg details and a boot, which meant that I did spend a little bit more time than necessary on the Doc Martens website, window shopping for new boots in the future. Okay, right, where were we? Day 11. So day 11 I added in more clothing details, and there's some more clutter and bits and pieces on her desk, so some notebooks, some more paintbrushes, obviously a tea mug, I was looking around my own desk really to see what I would put in or what I have lying around, so there's a little bit of insight there for you. Where are we? Okay, so day 12. I'm not mad keen on day 12, to be quite honest. I've added in some facial details and I changed up the hair, but I don't really like it how it is, so I think I will take the face section away and work up some other face designs and ideas separately from like this sort of overall layout design sort of sketch. Also on day 12, I asked my patrons over on Patreon for book title ideas to have on the bookshelves behind her, because I don't want to rely too much on like real life books, because I don't know how it works with licensing, copyright and trademarks, that kind of stuff. So my patrons have been making suggestions for book titles they would like to see of books that don't actually exist in the real world, and then that way they can be immortalised in the painting as well themselves, should they want to. So I've been making a list of those as we go along, and as I add the books into the shelves behind her, I'll include those titles on the books there. Day 13, I've made a start on the top shelf behind her, and so there's some books there, a box, I think, I'm not sure what's in the box, and we've added a couple of little studio buddies. So you can see up on the top shelf there is a kind of little fairy type creature, which may or may not be a relative of Miss Sassy Pants. She's sitting up there with her little teacup reading a tiny little fairy book. And we've also got, wrapped around the top of the easel and peering down and taking a look at what our character is painting, we've added in a little snicky snack. So Yeah, so I'll add the snake in more detail when I actually paint it, obviously, but that's kind of where it'll be wrapped around and watching. So you might have noticed on my more detailed sketching so far, that her hands are completely missing. Now that's because I find hands really hard. I think loads of people do. I just need more practice, really. So next week I'm going to take some reference photos of my own hands in the pose that she's in. So that's going to be weird for a start. And I'll work on practicing how they look and practice drawing those up and maybe painting those as well, so that when we get to actually painting the real thing on canvas, I don't completely fluff it all up because I can't do hands. That's it really. Just a quick roundup this week for you, so less of me rambling, and only one microphone this time, so hopefully you won't get loads of weird audio jumps like last week. Sorry about that. I'm still working through the technical issues of doing this because it's all new to me. So yeah, I'll pop a link to Patreon below, obviously, so if you do want to get involved and you've got any ideas about book titles or anything to do with the painting or my other work, then get involved with that. And also, if you want a notification each time I add a video, then click the little subscribe button down in the corner, and YouTube will tell you as we go along. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great week. I'll see you at the end of next week. Wish me luck with the hands, because terrifying. But yeah, have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon.